It's time for us to go to North Central football, and we have a guest tonight because he is the coach of the interleag side, Joel Donnen from the Sea Lake and Daly Tigers. He's joining us in place of Ricky Allen. We'll explain why as we welcome him. G'day there, Joel. How are you?
Good flow, man. How are you?
Really well, thank you. Because Ricky Allen is not with us today. We've got interleague football on the weekend. You're the coach, but also our sympathies to Ricky and his family with the passing of his dear grandma. And so our thoughts and prayers with everyone at Witcherproof and the wider clan of the Allens and so forth down there. But Joel, you're the man, and I want to ask you about this famous Donnen name. You're one of the four brothers. Is it just great to be able to play with your brothers in a local footy club?
Yeah, it is. It is. Bit of a dream of ours forever, I suppose. We've tried to do it, and so I think between me and Wade, there's 10 years apart. So I'm hanging on, and he's flying. So we're sort of making it happen now, and it's good to be a part of.
I think you've once played together, or maybe for a few games back in the old Mallee League. If I remember, it might have been when you were in the Wimmering Lascelles, the Cats outfit, and all four of you got to play when Wade was just a young lad. Yeah.
No, that was a pretty special time as well, and it was a while ago now, but we made it happen in 2019 was our first year back together, and we had a good season then, and this year's shaping up fairly well too. So.
Oh, it certainly is. I'll take you back to 2019 because you took on the coaching role. You come back from Wurrunen, and I think a couple of the brothers were playing down in the Bendigo League, and all four of you returned home, and with an absolute belter of a side, you took your first North Central grand final, but not only in the senior grade, reserve grade, and in the 16-year-olds, and runners-up in the 13-year-olds. I mean, the Tigerland couldn't have been any happier than that wonderful result.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a great time to be around the club. We had some really good recruits and local people too that really care about the whole club and the place. So makes it easy when everyone's on the same page and working together. So, yeah, it was really good.
Fantastic stuff. Of course, for those that don't know, Joel Donnen, my guest from the Sea Lake and Daly Football Club, of course, he's the coach there, plays at half forward. Trent, a couple of times, the Russ, the Gravestocks medal winner in the old Mallee Football League as the best and fairest player in the league, is a great midfielder. His brother Wade, I reckon, could win a medal in North Central. He was, I think, runner-up last year and a real star. And Kane in defence, a absolute rock of Gibraltar. The Donnen brothers all playing at the famous Tigers up there at Sea Lake and Daly. Looking at those famous Tigers last week, 24-19, 163 to beat St Arnaud 2-5-17. I know that you play up forward there, Joel, and tell me, do you have to organise any of those blokes up forward? I mean, it doesn't look like they need too much organising. They're all going pretty well.
Yeah, well, it looks like that on the scoreboard. We've always got things to work on. So, I don't have a lot of football in hand. I just run around making sure we can direct some traffic and get some organisation. But, yeah, it did work well on the weekend. We've, ironed a few things out, and hopefully we can build a bit more going into the second half of the season. Okay,
tell me about this young Cox fellow. 5 goals. He matched the great Billy McGuinness. I mean, it must be a real talent.
Yeah, Tomo, it was his first game of senior football too. So he played in the under-16s earlier in the day and kicked 5. He rested forward for the second half and ended up kicking 5 in the unders. So he came in and played in our senior side. It was his debut, and he kicked another 5. So he got dished off a couple, but then the other 3 were very handy. He kicked 3 points as well. So he did have a fair bit of the ball for a little man.
Oh, it's a great story, isn't it? 10 goals in a day across 2 different competitions. Fantastic. Summer Hayes with 3, Wade Donnen 3, and yourself a couple along with Simpson, and K Donnen, A Mertz, W Donnen, T Donnen, B McGuinness and T Cox. 3 of the Donnen boys that I've just talked to, the 4 in the better players. The only one not there, the coach, and he can't be in the better players because he's got to pick him.
Yeah, that's what I keep saying. No, I'm not as good as them, so I'll let them have the raps and I'll do the organising. So, no, we had some really good players, and I think Kane at centre-half-back, our back 6 all worked really well together, and just happened to be the day that it went to him every time, and yeah, he rebounded really well and ran off to Mertz. He's been playing forward, and he led up really well. He would have taken 15, 20 marks for the day and delivers the ball beautifully, so made it really easy for those forwards in Thomas and Billy. So, it was good to see.
Good to see. What about this, Birchip? Watch 'em, boys, the Bulls. They were playing there with the Milne Memorial happening down there at Birchip. And they won 10-9-69 to beat Donald 5-13-43. And I tell you what, these Bulls, they're going to be hard to beat. You've beaten them in grand final last time round, but they're certainly looking okay, Joel.
Yeah, they are. They're, I think the scoreline was a little bit closer than a few were expecting, so that was good to see. Donald got up and had a bit of a go. Castellano kicked 3, and he's always hard to stop. So if him and the young Will Sheehan, he got a couple as well, I see. And Dale Hinkley's in very good form, so they're definitely flying. But the bought blokes like that Vendetti, and if you focus on the likes of Ross, and then you get stuck nailing him, trying to keep him down, Vendetti can get away. So they've definitely done a good job to keep the scoreline that close, I think.
Yeah, Ross Young, a good player. And Goss kicked 2 for Donald, and good play from Vendetti, as you mentioned. What about this, though? Big upset. Wedderburn 13-12-90. Not so much the upset that they won, but the scoreline to beat Witcherproof 4-12-36. It was a 9-goal win for the Redbacks, and Witcherproof Narraport in a bit of bother.
I wasn't that surprised. I thought Wedderburn have definitely got a good side. They did knock off Birchip the other week, so they are sitting second. A lot of good players going through their squad, and I think with a few recruits, and if they gel well come the end of the season, they could give us a real run. So it'll be interesting.
Will certainly be that. And Charlton 12-7-79, beating Bort 8-12-60. It was a 19-point margin in the way of the Charlton Navies, and that kept their season alive.
Yeah, definitely. I was sort of thinking a close game going in, and I did see the scoreline at half-time. Bort were up, so I think they might have lost track of their footy for a little while and may have lost the game just on that. But if they can focus and work as a team, I think Bort can be a really good side. So well done to Charlton themselves. Thompson kicked 5, and he's in really good form as well.
Yeah, good playing. McGrath with 3, and Judd, the legend and the CEO of all things, booted a couple. It was Gunn with 4, and Falconer, he booted a couple of goals for them on the day. It is interleague, and Joel, you're the coach. Tell us the game against Sunraysia, the details. Where is the game to be held, and how do you see the North Central?
Yeah, the game this weekend will be played at Sea Lake, so I think that'll... a few of our blokes within our league don't like the travel to Sea Lake, but I think the Mildura blokes will enjoy a little closer trip. So it's sort of in the middle too. So we sort of accommodated for them a bit, which is probably shouldn't be helping out the opposition, but we try to make it as good as we can. The side's looking fairly strong. We've had reasonably good numbers, and the Wedderburn blokes have put in a lot of numbers, and we've had to put in a lot of numbers as well. So everyone else is it's a hard year with a lot of soft tissue injuries and things like that getting around. So the week off was inviting to a fair few, but we've still got a very good side and a very strong side. So we'll hope to, I think everyone just plays their role, control what we can control, and see if we can match it with the Sunraysia. All
right, now, how many Donnen boys have made the squad?
Yeah, there's 3. So they're all in their positions, and they're very keen. So they love playing at a high level. So they'll do anything. I think. Well, there's one with a bit of a suspect ankle at the moment, but he's doing everything possible to get up for an interleague game. So he's fairly dedicated, which is good.
Good stuff. And what about down back? Who's going to marshal the back line for the North Central? And obviously you've got the midfield and the Holt boys and so forth. Wedderburn got some talent there. How do you see that being brought together?
Yeah, the back line should work fairly well. Kane, he's a real leader. My brother Kane, he's a real leader on our side. And then Geordie Hargraves, he's going to start back for us. He's one of the best ruckmen in the league, but he's very fit and agile unit. So he's also our captain. So well done to Geordie. He shows up every year, and he's a good leader, and he'll organise the troops back there for sure.
Yeah, certainly will. And kicking goals down forward, who do you see putting their hand up and leading out for the ball to maybe kick a winning score against the Sunraysia?
Yeah, big Billy McGuinness. I think he's leading the goal kicking this year. He won the league goal kicking in the 19 season for us, and he's been in fairly good form. He had 3 set shot practices last night at training and didn't miss one, so he reckons he didn't need to do any more. But I think every game he's kicked more points than goals, so 3 might not be enough, Bill, but we'll work on that. Also, Sheehan in the forward pocket, he's been playing well for Birchip, so I hope to get him leading up at the ball, and if we can work as a fairly good forward unit, we can score some goals, hopefully.
Score some goals, and it's all happening at Sea Lake. Is there an underage squad in this, or are we just talking a senior match?
Yeah, no, there's an under-18s squad, so it's with our under-16s sort of being there, our under-18s kids are mostly playing seniors or good reserves footy anyway, so they should have a fairly good side. I know there's a lot of kids up Sunraysia way, so they might have a few more to pick from, but our young kids will have a real crack and make sure they give it their all, so we'll see how that goes.
All right, time for the games. The crowds obviously can get to the Sea Lake ground. It's a beautiful ground, lovely open spaces there and good viewing areas too, with the lovely big club room in front of the Oval. So what are the times for the games? The
senior game starts at 2 o'clock, so she's a little bit earlier than the weekends, and then the underage game, I think it starts at 12, so it should be a good spectacle. Anyway, I know everyone from the Sunraysia is going to bring a fair troop down, so they've got a couple of buses lined up and should be good to watch.
Going to be great standard of football out of the Sunraysia. Some good players there. Of course, we mentioned earlier a couple of boys that run around in the Owen United Kangas and Bradley Valance and Alex Morris, and then a lot of our North Central talent and all meeting together in the old Mallee stronghold of Sea Lake. So great stuff. Good to have you on board, Joel, filling in for the great man Ricky Allen. You've done a terrific job, and we look forward to catching up with you again.
Yeah, thanks, Flo, man. It was big shoes to fill. Ricky does a great job, so I'm glad to help.